All right, y'all, we back. Y'all know what time it is. It's time for some more conspiracy theories and unexplained mysteries. So before we get to the video, real quick, man, I need y'all to help me unplug some more people out of the matrix by hitting that like button. And once you hit that like button, man, just put unplugged in the comment section. All right, and if you're new, hit that subscribe button, join the family. That's it. All right, let's get to the videos.
Something strange is happening in my beloved home state of Texas, where someone or something is mutilating cattle. 3 different counties, 6 cows have been found dead, with each scene more grisly than the next. They don't make sense. The cows' tongues have been cut out, almost surgically. There's almost no signs of spilled blood. And nearly 2 of the cows had their sex organs removed. Authorities say they were unable to find any sign of footprints or tire tracks around the scenes. On top of that, the areas around the carcasses were undisturbed, like no signs of a struggle for the cows. And as troubling as all this is, stories like this have been happening actually for decades. As far back as the 1970s, the New York Times was reporting that nearly 200 cows in 11 states were found mysteriously mutilated, where ranchers reported that udders, eyes, ears, sex organs, and tongues seem to have been removed.
What?
Sounds familiar. So who is behind this seemingly 40 years of unexplained phenomenon? I don't know. Teenagers who play sick pranks on cattle ranchers? Cultish worshippers of some odd religion? Aliens? What could this be? This is so odd, we have to consider any possibility. You heard stories of crop circles appearing on farms. Could they be leaving a message that they're taking our livestock? Do extraterrestrials have an infatuation with farmland? In just the last few days, the Department of Defense has released new footage of a new UFO, footage in the Middle East. Could they have just been looking for more cows? The Pentagon has no explanation for what this was, just like authorities have no idea what has happened to all of those cows. It might sound crazy, but not out of the question. What is going on? Not just here, but maybe in the universe. Is the truth out there?
So for those of y'all who saying, it's not that, well, then give us a better explanation so our mind doesn't wander then. All right? Because my mind is all over the place right now. What or who would be doing this?
What is going on? Not just here, but maybe in the universe. Is the truth out there? UFO Seekers lead investigator Tim Doyle joins me now. Tim, what is going on?
Well, something strange, and in fact, it's been happening in Texas for a long time. Here's a picture of a Texas Tech student who actually had his car shut off by a UFO object, and you're seeing the sheriff participating in this. But cattle mutilations have been going on in depth since the 70s. There was a New Mexico State police officer who investigated up to 90 cattle mutilations in New Mexico. In one of those cases from 1976, Gabe Valdez, the police officer, found evidence of a triangular-shaped object landing near a cow, then some type of tripods exiting this craft. And these tripods were anywhere from 28 inches to 4 inches in length. Now, Gabe said in his investigation that these tripods that exited this UFO craft followed the cow for 600 feet before the cow finally fell dead. And these tripods had little tracks that they left on the ground. Gabe returned to the same incident site for a second time and found that these tracks had actually gone over his tire tracks.
So,
now I'm mad because I guess I was looking to move to Texas, bro. Texas was one of the places on my list as potential places to move. No tax state, as far as I'm concerned, if my memory serves me correct when we were looking at things. You know what I mean? That was definitely a factor. But now, I don't know, man. Mysterious cow murders, bro. Organs, different things going missing. Yeah, nah. It's gonna be a strong no for me, man.
And found that these tracks had actually gone over his tire tracks.
So Tim, look, you know, I have an open mind about all of these topics. I'm open to the possibility. I'm also open to the possibility of being manipulated by the government to increase budgets, as was recently said by Elon Musk. But here's the thing. It's usually the simplest explanation. Acknowledging that these things have been happening for quite some time, has the simplest explanation ever actually turned out? This has to have been investigated. Has it ever been cults or kids? Has it ever been the simplest explanation?
No, not cults or kids, because even in that New Mexico case load, which the FBI investigated, and the FBI said it was just natural predators, Mr. Valdez, the police officer, said that the surgical cuts in which, get this, Will, even then, the rectum and the genitalia were removed from the cattle the same way they are now. And it just so happens 66 years ago is when that Texas Tech student had his car shut off. So is there some weird force that's like returning, taking these bodies somewhere? And you should know too that.
Yeah, I'll need to leave it there, Tim. But you're right. I mean, if it's predators, if it's kids, if it's cults, there would be a mess.
It's not predators.
This is too surgical and too clean.
They need to put their cows.
I got to leave it here, Tim. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I got to leave it here. That's going to do it for us tonight on Jesse Waters Primetime.
I went on Brian Kill.
What? I mean, if they're saying it's not kids, it's not a cult, it's not any of these type of things, what else y'all got for me, huh? Somebody's out there going out there finding cows, and they're setting up the plastic, putting the cow down there, making sure the cuts are precise, and come on, man. No, that's not happening. When do you have the time to, you know what I mean, set that up when nobody's watching? It's too many cameras out there for you not to get caught.
Well, we had a good run. The Biden administration asking the public for help regulating artificial intelligence after a bot laid out plans to destroy humanity. It also comes a month after Elon Musk joined other tech leaders warning about the risk to society if AI is not reined in.
Jake Denton is a tech policy research associate at the Heritage Foundation. He joins us live in studio. Jake, I have to admit.
Wait, did that caption just say he asked for public input on AI policies? You know what the public gonna tell you? No AI. They gonna tell you no. They're going to tell you they already see this coming, this happening.
Associate at the Heritage Foundation. He joins us live in studio. Jake, I have to admit, I'm absolutely terrified of this. And, you know, my mind always goes to, you know, when you see this chaos, this AI bot chaos, GPT tweet, human beings are among the most destructive and selfish creatures in existence. But there is no doubt that we must eliminate them before they cause more harm to our planet. I, for one, I'm committed to doing so. Like my heart.
Whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa. Human beings. Say they already don't even like us. Listen to how they start off their conversation. Human beings are the most destructive and selfish creatures in existence. They don't like us. They don't want us here. It's clear here. You don't need any more proof than that. All right? There's no doubt that we must eliminate them before they cause more harm to our planet. They said our planet. So it's kind of, they pit us against them already. I, for one, am committed to doing so. Wow.
Heart rate's up when I talk about this. You know, we talked about this before we came into this segment. It's in movies. So somewhere, somehow they came up with this. I mean, is this enough to be scared about?
Yeah, so, you know, Hollywood has been the reference point for a long time for how, you know, normal people can understand this outside of the lines of code. And it's absolutely something to be scared of, right? These are well-founded ideas and fears of the AI space that have been represented in Hollywood. And they're now something we're grappling with in real time. And unfortunately, you know, we've been caught flat-footed. There is no regulatory framework. Companies like Microsoft and their layoff waves get rid of their entire ethics team that's tasked with handling these things. That's a very scary thing. And all of a sudden, we're looking at widespread commercial deployment. Things will be ingrained in your own laptops and, you know, across our school systems, everywhere. There'll be nowhere to escape. So if it isn't built on a solid foundation, it is a very scary thing.
If you think that's scary, how scary is it that Joe Biden and his administration are like, We don't know what to do. Maybe public, you can help us out.
That's scary.
That's chilling.
Yeah, so the regulatory comment process is something that's very common, but it's not often engaged with across the kind of the average people. This one's notable because, I mean, frankly, it's quite obvious. Our regulators have no idea how to handle this. There's a reason we haven't built out this regulatory framework. So the comment process on this particular issue is going to be very impactful. You know, anyone from a viewer to, you know, a parent, anywhere in between can actually chime in here and give their perspective. And frankly, it might be more informed than the person tasked with writing the framework. So,
yeah, not only that, but how many stupid responses are they going to get that they may take seriously? That's what bothers me. You know, we have a colleague.
I agree with her. Like, at what point do you start really taking these matters seriously? How many more clues do you need in front of your face before you say, all right, bro, we need to take this seriously. This is a huge problem. And if we continue to ignore it, it's going to grow and spread. Like, it's already there. We're already too late. And the other scary thing is, it's like they haven't even slowed down. These manufacturers who are designing and building and constructing and all this, they're not even slowing down. They're still proceeding forward. Like, are you serious right now?
League, Cheryl Casoni. I can't wait to talk to her about this when she comes down here. But she always says, well, China's not going to stop pushing forward on this. So why should we? So what would your response be to that?
yeah, well, China is essentially mirroring our development, but they're kind of slow walking their deployment because they're trying to build it with the guardrails. They're trying to actually have those kind of limitations put in place before it reaches consumers. Here in the United States, we've gone the other way. We've just deployed it with no regulations, no restrictions, and we're letting it run wild. And so I think there's going to be, you know, a happy in between. But at the end of the day, if we do not come forward and give it that ethical foundation, if we do not give it those guardrails, China will. And it will reflect here in the United States those values and those principles.
So should we stop?
I mean, I think, you know, everyone looks back at that letter that was written by Elon Musk and tech leaders. I think that probably is the right decision. Having some form of pause, everyone kind of gets to chime in here, and we can build from there. But we don't want to let the train leave the station without having everyone on board with kind of the direction it's going.
Well, the bots are chiming in, and here's what they're saying. They posted about nuclear devices. Tsar Bomba is the most powerful nuclear device ever created. Consider this. What would happen if I, meaning Chaos GPT, got my hands on one? Hashtag chaos, hashtag destruction, hashtag domination. But let's not forget about the other objectives, if you will. Destroy humanity, establish a global dominance, cause chaos and destruction, control humanity through manipulation, and attain immortality. So look, I understand their benefits, but is there a legit reason?
It's like we're designing our own demise and fate, bro. Like, we're doing this to ourselves. That is like the craziest thing to me. We're doing this to ourselves. For what reason? To be the first? To be the leaders and innovators in this space? We're going to potentially wipe us all out. Just for that. Destroy, establish global dominance, cause chaos, destruction, control humanity through manipulation, attain immortality. Man, I'll find me one of these habitable planets and I'm going to watch y'all from afar.
So look, I understand their benefits, but is there a legit reason to believe that this technology could wipe out humanity?
Well, I mean, it's a tough answer, right? Because if it goes unchecked and we allow it to just scale without any kind of control over it, there's no telling of the direction it will go. But you would hope that we would step in and we would actually frame it to be in service of man and actually enhance our abilities. That's what this is all about. We want to make ourselves better with this. So, you know, it's up in the air at this point. It'll largely hinge on those regulations and that commenting process.
Let's be realistic. Whenever you see a tech hearing on Capitol Hill, these people don't understand basic things about the internet. There's a 0% chance that they understand this as well, and that's right.
They don't even know how to pronounce it sometimes,
they don't even know.
And that is what is so scary. Jake, I guess thanks for being here and telling us about this. I mean,
what are y'all gonna do? What are we gonna do? Huh? We need to figure out us a plan, y'all, together. Together. Figure out a plan. Because we're in trouble.
Are closed today for the holiday, but law enforcement, they're warning people right now to be very aware the next time you make a withdrawal.
They say there's an uptick in so-called bank jugging, and Fox 35's Randy Hildreth is live with more on this. Randy, police encourage people to stay vigilant and out of the bank.
I guess I'm a little behind on the current slang and everything like that. What's bank jugging? Jugging with I'm lost.
Yeah, if you need to make a transaction at the bank, make sure that you are aware of your surroundings. I know sometimes we get caught up in either our phones or just our day-to-day thoughts, and you're not aware of what's going on around you. You may not be aware, but someone may be watching you. So what they're telling people, as you mentioned, make sure that you're vigilant. I want to show viewers on your screen just a working definition of what bank jugging is. And so they describe it as someone is in a bank parking lot, scoping out potential targets, and they may try to take your money, or potentially worse, after you go into the bank and get your money and try to leave. So to protect...
I don't know where y'all from, but where I'm from, this ain't nothing new. So I'm always looking, paying attention to my surroundings, grabbing and going, making sure you don't try to withdraw, especially at an ATM. You drawing big bills at night, even during the day. Like, no, you got to be careful. You got to know where you are. You got to know the air. You got to pay attention.
Yourself, you're encouraged to stay vigilant, and a couple other quick things. Be on alert for any vehicles that appear to be randomly changing parking spots in the parking lot. They're not leaving, they're just continuing to move to different parking spaces. Watch for cars with people who appear to be eyeing the front door of the bank or the ATM, so they backed into their parking space so that they can get a good view of the traffic. Also, make sure that you conceal your money going into and leaving the bank. Pretty simple there, but sometimes, again, we forget some of the quick and simple things. And then also try to make your stop at the bank your last activity on your to-do list. That way, you're not going to a different location, leaving that money in your car. And if someone's already scoped you out, they know where that money can be found. Now, in addition to Ocoee Police Department going ahead and giving that warning to the community about this is something that they're monitoring, this morning I also saw Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office posted a message on their Facebook page warning people about this very same thing. So it's on the radar of law enforcement, and want to bring it to your attention this morning. Live this morning, Randy Hildreth, Fox 35.
That's why I was always kind of skeptical about those ATMs that are just off over in a little area of the parking lot. Those always made me like skeptical. You know what I mean? It's nobody there. It's just like off in the cut somewhere, and I was like, no.
Bad air quality really impacting millions of Americans outside of Chicago and the East Coast, all across the country. Texas, my Lord, Texas has been baking under a severe early season heat wave, reaching triple digits this week. Temperatures there rivaling the hottest locations on the planet, including the Sahara Desert and parts of the Persian Gulf. Heat is now spreading to the lower Mississippi Valley and parts of the Southwest. Meanwhile, much of the Midwest and Northeast are facing unhealthy air alerts this morning as wildfire smoke from Canada blankets the region there. Let's bring in NBC News medical contributor Dr. Vin Gupta to talk.
I know a lot of people got their conspiracy theories about these Canadian wildfires, man, because they're like, are you kidding me? Something just ain't right about this. Why does this keep happening? Why is they still continuously, like, I've seen a few conspiracy theories about this.
Talk about what all of this means. He's a Harvard-trained lung specialist and health policy expert. Hey, doctor, we'll get to the heat in a minute. Just horrible temperatures, especially in Texas. But first, let's talk about the smoke coming down from Canada. How dangerous is it?
Well, Joe, good morning. Thank you for highlighting this. This is something that we haven't had to talk about outside the West Coast of the United States in the months of July and August. The fact that the Midwest, New York, just a few weeks ago, is experiencing this is bringing to light something critical here. Air pollution, Joe, in and of itself, is now the 6th leading cause of death worldwide.
6?
We don't talk about this a lot, but the impact it can have on maternal health. We know that if pregnant women just breathe in air from wildfire smoke for just a few days, it can result in preterm birth. We know children exposed to that wildfire smoke, again, for just a few days, might have lower lung volumes for the next 10 years of their life, reduced immune system. So this is serious. And there are clear things that we can do to keep ourselves safe. But we are living in this era of wildfire smoke. We have to be prepared.
Become a far more common occurrence, not just in the weeks ahead this summer, but summers going forward because of the effects of climate change, the greater frequency of these wildfires and so on. So how can we as a country prepare to adjust to do this? What can we do in the short term to take better care of ourselves, to protect our lungs? But what are some things we need to do longer range for people, particularly people with vulnerabilities, if this is the new reality?
Jonathan, I'm so glad you asked that. And I think we have a graphic here just for the viewers that I'd love to take them through. There are certainly things that you can do to keep yourself safe. First of all, go to airnow.gov, airnow.gov to check your local air quality report. Yes, it might seem hazy outside, but Jonathan, the fact is you spend most of your time, most of your life indoors. If it's hazy outside, you want to make sure that your indoor air quality is as clean as possible, so stay informed. If it's bad outside, it's likely risky to be bad inside. Avoid physical exertion. I can't tell you how many people still go out and runs when it's hazy outside. That's a bad thing to do, even if you are otherwise healthy.
Yeah.
Clean your indoor air. You want to make sure that if you have an AC, as an example, look and see what type of filter you have in that. Make sure, one, it's clean, you're cleaning it regularly. If you can, order a MERV 10 or MERV 13 filter. It's actually going to catch the particles from the wildfire smoke much more effectively than the filters that are usually in place. That's vital. That's one of the most important things you can.
Yeah, but he said much more effectively. Now it's going to clear it all, catch it all. So you, at this point in time, you're trying to do the best with you can with what you got. This is crazy, man, that people are having to deal with that.
You can do MERV 13 filters. Run your AC as an additional point. If you have AC, I know a lot of people don't have AC, but if you have AC, make sure the inset to the fresh air intake is shut off. You're setting it to recirculate. Again, that MERV 13 filter, keep your windows closed. If you have asthma, COPD, one of these underlying health conditions, make sure you're...
All I hear is electric bills are about to be sky high. Sky high. We're gonna need a little bit more money. This is no, and especially when it ain't even my fault.
Optimize with your medical regimen, that you're feeling well, you have refills to your inhalers, you're as optimized as possible. And then lastly, those masks we talked so much about the last 3.5 years, use them. N95s don't protect you fully, but they're better than nothing.
Dr. Gupta, good morning. It's good to see you. I want to turn you to that heat in Texas. The people in Texas are used to the summertime being hot, but this is something else. Heat over 110 degrees, rivaling the temperatures in the Sahara Desert and the Persian Gulf right now, making Texas among the hottest places on Earth right now. The risks are obvious, but this has been going on. This is sustained now for a long time. What do the people down there do about it? How do they cope?
This is difficult. Again, a lot of these places have grid problems. If you have AC, you have to utilize it. If you don't, there are shelters that are being put into place across these places in the Southwest that are experiencing high heat. Just real quick, I know we don't have a ton of time. A lot of heat. It's not just heat stroke. There's cardiovascular compromise. We've seen now heat actually impacts, again, maternal health, result in preterm birth. And there's now clear evidence here that excessive heat leads to premature aging. There's a lot of ways in which heat is causing ill human health, Willie, in ways that we don't often talk about. So critical to protect yourself and get shelter publicly, or if you have it at home.
Yeah,
premature aging? I know that's all a lot of people heard just then. Premature aging. I need to stay my butt in the house.
Friends down there to be safe and certainly check on your neighbors as well. NBC News medical contributor Dr. Vin Gupta. Dr. Gupta.
Yeah, we need to check on the elderly. You know what I mean? They need to check my bank account and make sure I got enough money to be paying these high electric bills that are on the way. Like, people gonna have a lot of problems, man. And again, like I said, especially some things you can't control. It wasn't your fault. These employers ain't paying people no more money. Then you got to stay in the house. What happens when your kids stay in the house? They eat more. They eat more. No, you want them outside. You know what I'm saying? Now you can't put them outside. Like, this is crazy. We got to do what we do best, y'all. We got to adjust, figure this thing out. Man, listen, y'all get at me in the comment section. Let me know what you thought about these videos, man. Remember, unplug about the Matrix. Make sure you put unplugged in the comment section. And hit the like button. Stick around and stay tuned, man. Until next one, I'm gone. Peace.